Hi, it's nice to see you again. Yeah, going on international break is really hard because you're with this league. You're leaving your team. We had two games that I unfortunately had to miss, and obviously I'm supporting the girls from there. But it's really hard to go away, and feels like it almost disrupts the rhythm a little bit, especially because we have so many that go. But going over to play with Haiti was great. It was a really good experience in Chile. We had two good games against Chile, so it was a great experience and it gave me a lot of energy coming back. It's just hard because you play two games there. The team has played two games here, and then you guys have to go into a third. I think it's in like 10 days. You're playing a third game, and obviously it's a lot of flying as well. So it went with excitement, but I think we all knew going into that game that we were going to have each other's backs and keep pushing as hard as we could, just because we were all tired. That's the reality of it. But yeah, it was good to be back with the girls.
Coming back, I kind of asked Phil this. What was the conversation like with him, and as far as, hey, I just got back from duty, how many minutes you were going to play? Did you come back and you were kind of like, hey, I want to start, or is it where you came back and there was a conversation about managing your minutes because of the length of travel that you had?
Yeah, honestly, I think Phil and I, we just had this trust. I came in and got back a day where we had an off day, so I had a day of rest, and then I came back and we had practice the next day, and I jumped in, and we didn't even really have a conversation beforehand. Obviously, he asked how I was doing and everything like that, but I think because he saw of how I was at practice, he knew I was ready to go for Fort Lauderdale, and we didn't need to have a conversation about do we need to manage you here and there. It was like I was ready to go. I wanted to be back with the team, and yeah, he trusts me enough to let me go and do that.
It's been a couple of weeks for you since you've been back at home. You have the home game tomorrow. How does that boost your energy for being back and being able to play friendly confines?
Yeah, it's definitely helpful to be back at home. We know Tampa's going to be a great competition. They're a tough team. So I think it's nice that we get to be back at home and get to hopefully have the energy of the crowd. And for me, I got to have my family there, which is always great. And I think, we're ready to help each other out and fight with each other and fight for each other as we go into tomorrow.
Last question for me. When you look at Tampa and what they bring to the table, obviously you've seen them a couple of times this season. What about tomorrow are you prepared for the most? Is there something about Tampa's game that you guys are on the lookout for?
Yeah, they're definitely a clever team. I think a lot of teams, what I will say, they will put a ball into a good area and hope that someone runs on there. Tampa knows what their player is going to be, and they get on the end of it every single time. So we can't take a play off tomorrow. We have to be tuned in for 90 minutes, and we know that. So, hopefully we're all prepared and ready to go do that.
Great. Claire, as always, thank you for your time.
Of course, thank you.
Claire, a few questions for me. As team captain leading this team through a season that has had its ups and downs, what do you tell your teammates in the locker room, before a match tomorrow, before a match in Fort Lauderdale, to motivate them to stay the course and stick to your principles and your tactics for each individual match?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, when I go into games, I just say we have nothing to lose and to just give it all right now. We're playing for each other, truly. There's so much that goes on, and obviously we're not in the position we want to be in at this point in the season, so we just have to go out there and give it our all each time, and prove ourselves, continue to prove ourselves, prove what we've been working on. We work really, really hard outside of these games, so we might as well go out there and show that we can do something.
Yeah, and Friday night match, the last weekend match, Friday's the weekend pretty much night of the season. So what are you looking forward to most about being back at Audi Field in front of our fans?
I think just the atmosphere. When you're at Audi Field, you're in DC, and you're in such a special place with so much culture and history, and I feel like our fans bring that to life as well. So it's great to be there.